everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Lisa from Potsiefighter, and I'm back today with another video for you. Today I'm actually making a DIY mini album. Well, the mini album is really big. These are the supplies I really want to use. There's some ephemera there's some cut files I got out of my stash, and the photos and all of that stuff. So this is a box that I got from DLS Designs. One of my orders came in there, my kit. And I just dismantled it, as you can see here, because I'm going to use the chipboard as an album base. And I wrote down the dimensions I'm going to use, and I'm going to make a 9x9 album. I'm just using it in centimeters because this T-square ruler that I have is in centimeters. And it is 23 by 23 centimeters. Sorry about my head, but kind of wanted to have that somewhat correctly. And then I need two of them, so I need two 9x9 inch pieces, and then the middle part, you know, like the spine, is gonna be very thick because my mini albums are chunky as heck. So I decided to go with a 4-inch spine. I think later on I am going to trim that down. I'm pretty sure. But we'll see about that. I am grabbing my big mama scissors here because it was just easier to trim it with those. And I'm gonna pause in a second and do the rest off camera. But yeah, this is such a great way to make it in a mini album. It is super easy. I did make a few boo-boos because I didn't think. But I will tell you what not to do. I mean, you can still do it because I did it and it turned out fine, but anyways, so yeah. And it's a great way to make your albums yourself. They're nifty and they are recycling, you know. I got because when I trimmed them, I kind of, you know, didn't trim it perfectly, so I just got out one of those cheapy sanding files, like nail files, sandpaper nail file thingies, and I just wrapped them against the paper and it smoothed it out perfectly. Super easy way to do this, super cheap, effective, and I just threw this thing away after that because it was gross. But yeah, this video is quite long, I'm sorry about that, but I only wanted to speed it up 2 times because it is, you know, I don't want it to be too fast, and so yeah. At the end I do have the beginning of my flip through of the album. I put that part in here as well. The whole flip through is gonna be up on my channel next Sunday, but I thought I would show you how the outside of the album turned out so you can see that. That will be at the end. So yeah, I think I'm done. Yes, I just threw that away because I didn't need that anymore. And then I went through my papers. Now, because I make a huge album, you can make this in any size. I decided to make a huge album, so I need two 12x12 pieces of paper that are the same design. Or if you don't have that, or you don't want that, you can also use 2 pieces of paper, like different colors of paper. That is fine as well. So here is what that will look like. It looks very like a different color, but they're actually the same. So that's kind of weird. But because I'm overlapping the papers now, I had to trim off a bit of the spine because otherwise I wouldn't have enough room. So yeah. So just take a piece of double-sided tape, and I did, because I do only have, this is 1/2 inch, I think, no, Is it? It might be. I don't know. But it was a bit too thick for what I wanted, so it just over, like I let it hang over, and then I just put on the excess on my page. And because this is a geometric pattern, and you will see in a second, this is not like, can you see that it's a bit off, like, what do you say, not off center, but it hangs over a tiny bit, because the patterns weren't the exact same, but I wanted them to overlap, so you can't really see the difference. So it doesn't matter if it's hanging over or not, because that's gonna be on the inside later, and it really, really doesn't matter. So there you can see I put off my camera, or turn off my camera, and then decided to trim off. It was, I think, a half an inch or a centimeter, which is not really the same, but kind of. So then I decided, or I started, I should say, to adhere everything down. I just put on double-sided tape. This is what I used for this album, mostly. Not actually, I mostly used wet glue. Well, I used both, and I also put some tape on the inside, of course. Just, I used a lot of tape for that. A lot. Oh my goodness. And what you have to do is, you can see it here because it's white on, or pink on white, and actually put down with a pencil where I wanted it. You have to leave room between the spine and the, what are they, like the flaps, the other two parts, because otherwise you can't like bend it over, so you can close it, open and close it. So that's something you have to be aware of. I don't know what I'm doing, or why I don't know. I think I wanted to make sure to have it in position and not to put it down too far right or left by accident, and that's why I did that. So just put down the first flap. I don't know what these are. I'm gonna call them flaps. So yeah, I did the other three off camera, and there you can see the first look of the album. It looks, I was so excited because I've never done this big album myself, and it actually worked. And then I trimmed off the edges, because you want to do this when you do this, you have clean edges, like the folding over is way easier. And then I think, do I turn this around? No, I just put down tape and then gently started to bend up the paper, and then I started adhering down in the middle. So if there is anything that doesn't work out, it is not in the middle where that over, like where I put the two pieces of paper together. I really wanted to make sure that there is no kind of, extra something that could work out to be a problem, if you know what I mean. Yeah, I also kind of scored where the room between the, like the three parts is. I kind of used my score, what are they called, bone folders, to put a little bit of a dent in there that you can see. Just, and I also put down the paper and put some pressure on there, on the glue and the paper, so this really stays in place, which it's supposed to do. So there are only two sides left. I'm not sure if I do this on camera as well, but apparently I do. I'm sorry, this is a bit off camera, but this album is huge. And there was some overhanging tape as well, because the tape was thicker than the or wider, I should say. And then again, just bending it up. And here the paper started to crack, which I don't really care about that much. I don't know why it didn't crack on the long sides, just on the short, but maybe it's just because of how the paper is, but that's okay. And there you can say this was kind of awkward to do. So I did it off camera. And then for the insides, I got this, again, I needed two because of the size of paper that I did. And here is where I make a boo-boo. So I just measured this by looking at it and not by using actual numbers. So the two pieces of paper are not the exact same size. Now I personally don't care. I'm sorry, Mary is sleep growling in the back if you can hear that. Again, I personally do not care, but if you are a person that wants this to be the same size, use numbers. That's just as easy as it is. Then so I trimmed those two down, two size ish. And then I used my, what are they called? Like the corner rounders to round the corners, obviously. And now I'm just trying to make out what I'm gonna do. And then I was like, okay, this is too big. And still, I did not need use numbers, so I don't know why I did that. But anyways, had to round the corners again. And what am I doing now? I don't know. Oh, I think I'm getting my glue stick because that's what I'm gonna use for the inside papers. No, I'm not. What am I doing? And this, like the overlapping on the spine, it does not really matter because you can't really see it because it's gonna be like there's gonna be pages and stuff all over it. So here I start to get a bit happy with my glue stick. I put on a lot of tape. Can you see the pressure that I'm using? Like I put this stuff on there. I really wanted this to be a lot of glue because I want this to stay for not just a day, but I want this to stick down for the rest of eternity. And then here I just used the edge to add some extra glue so this would stay down, and then I adhered it down. Simple as that. Just adhered it down with, I'm sorry, the camera is moving. With my, just put it down a bit with my hands, and then I'm using my bone folder. A lot of pressure and going all over the creases and stuff. And then in a second, I'm gonna go over my, yeah, you can see it, my spine. I just kind of, not my spine, my little fold. I just bent it up a bit and gently pull my bone folder back and forth. I did not do this as gently as I did on this side on the other side, so I kind of ripped it in a place, I think. But that's okay, you know, I'll be okay. So yeah, again with the glue, just get it all on there. Yeah, I really wanted to make sure that there's enough glue so this would not come up anytime soon. So, okay. So there we go, and there you can kind of see how it's not really overlapping, but again, I do not care. And I think I need to go in with the glue in the middle. Do I? No? Maybe? Yeah. Because I did not put enough glue because the paper is wider than I put it down. But anyways, so there we go, putting it down, and now using my bone folder. I had glue everywhere, so I kind of had to brush it off. And now because I wasn't really gentle, I ripped it in one place a bit, like I made a tiny little hole, but again, that's okay. And I love how this album turned out. Like, it is seriously so easy to do. But it's easiest if you kind of like, where I kind of made a tiny little hole, but it's okay. If you just bend up the flap a bit, and that's just the easiest. You can do it. So there is basically my album. It just fascinated me how fast this went. And then I'm gonna use this huge no, what did I call it? Like the ring thingies, metal rings. And then here is where I made a boo-boo. I did not make the holes before I did that, but you can do this now if you have like a crocodile, which I don't. I only have a one hole punch thingy, like you can see there, and obviously the one hole punch does not go as far, like far into the album as a crocodile would, because it's just not that near it. You don't have the space to go in there. So I can't actually, all of the measuring doesn't make sense because I can't go far in. Can you see? Now there, and I'm like, oh yeah, no, I only have this tiny little place. So I just made the hole on the place where I measured it further down, and then these are 8 centimeters diameter rings. 8 centimeters must be about 3 in. No, wait. 8, 2. Yeah, about 3 inches, something like that. So I made sure that there is 8 centimeters in between of them, and there you can see. I just pull it through, and there you go. What you can also do, you can buy one of those like binding system thingies that you just use your hot glue and put inside of the album, and then you have rings. You can do that as well, but I had these rings on hand and I got really inspired to make this album one night, so I just did. And then on the other side I punch my holes as well, and my one hole punch works extremely well, which was surprising to me because this is thick chipboard plus 2 pattern papers. So I was as happy as can be that this actually worked out. So yeah, just put them through there. Oop, where's the second one? Oh, there we go. And boom, done. Album is done. I was so extremely happy about this. So this is a super easy way to make your album, and this again, this is a 9x9 album, so it is quite big, which was surprising to me. I actually wanted to make an 8x8 album, but again, I couldn't put the rings down further, so it turned out to be, oh wow, sorry, turned out to be a 9x9 album. Oh yeah, I got out my ribbon, people. This is how I started my ribbon. I have these super cute bags. They are just Ziploc, no, they're not Ziploc, but they're like reusable clothing thingy bags from Flying Tiger with super cute like monster mouth thingies on there. And I have divided them by color. So I have blues and greens, oranges, blah, 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 blah in one. And I wanted to decorate this. So this, you don't have to do this, obviously. I recently got, and when I say recently, I mean a couple of months ago, but I got this super cute, like, ribbon thing. I don't know, it's kind of weird, but I really love it. So be aware, there's gonna be a flame later on because I kind of set this thing on fire. But it's okay. It's all good. Because this is super flammable, which usually ribbon shouldn't be, but this one is, but it's okay. I am super careful and I know what I'm doing, so it's not just like, but please be careful, because some ribbon has a lot of plastic in there, and they obviously don't set the little, they're like plastic ball thingies covered in fake suede, or faux suede I should say. But yeah, so I got out this tape that is very, it's, I don't know if this is redline tape, but it is like dimensional, and I just put this tape on there, and so I can adhere it down. And by the way, why I even did the fire thing is because when you have ribbon or something like that and you use fire, it kind of closes off the ends, so you don't just, it doesn't like start to like fall apart. So that's why I did that. Um, but yeah, so I am really, really happy I got this ribbon or used this ribbon because, or I don't know if it's ribbon, but you know, it is to me. But anyways, because it's really, really cute. And I love how this album turned out. And it was surprisingly easy to do. Like I didn't like think once, like, because I often have this, I start a project and midway through I'm like, why the hell did you start this? This is way too complicated and way too, like much, and oh my goodness, this is never gonna blah 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes this just happens and I kind of regret starting it. Not this time. So again with the fire, and I just very gently, like I don't bring this to the fire, like I very very gently do this, and then I just put it out with my fingers. This is hot, so be caution about that. Be caution, that's not a word. Be aware of that, and just don't do anything stupid. But I find this is the easiest way to make threads stop from, what do you say, like how do you call that when they just do they run? Do they, I don't know what they do, but they do something. But anyways, just putting on all of the tape on all of the tiny little pieces. Oh my god. The tiniest, but I will be done kind of soon, and I will not show you all of the decorating. I don't know why I actually kept this in, but I did. So yeah, and again I have a flip through of the completed album. There will not be a process except for the making of the album and the decorating that I do now, but there will be nothing else, just the flip through next Sunday. And yeah, I am really, really happy that I first of all documented the memories of this. This is my niece's confirmation, and I am her godmother. So it was really, really special to me. There are so many beautiful memories and photos in there. And so I'm really, really happy about that. At the end, because I already put on the adhesive, I did not use the thing because it was too close. It kind of looks like I do, but I don't because it's just too close to all of the paper and the plastic, and I was like, yeah, no, let's not do that. So unfortunately, this might to start to run, but I will use a glue dot. I don't know if I do that now, maybe. There, I tried it with the, or maybe I do this. That could be, oh yeah, I do this, and this starts to burn now. Like, can you see? Ooh, but it's okay. But be aware. But because otherwise all of the little pearl bead thingies would start to run down my album. I was thinking about another one, but I don't really. So this is the outside of the album. There, I almost am done with the decorating of the spine, and this is how one of the layouts look. So this is the finished album. I'm just gonna show you the outside. I used another ribbon to close it, and you can see I decorated. This is faux suede leather band, and then here I have two tassels and like a shirt, what did they call it, like cross charm. And yeah, this is my finished album. And yeah, again, the flip through is gonna be up next Sunday in a week's time, and I really am happy with this album, and I am so happy that this worked out well. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope this was helpful to you, and if you did like it, please give me a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing if you haven't already, and I will see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.